Welcome to Cox Presents, A Salute to Teachers, brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union. Listen up, here is Christian Youth Theater.
From the day we arrived on the planet and the blinking step into the sun, there's more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high to the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round. It's the circle of life, and it moves us all. There and go, gaze and love, till we find our place. Paths unwinding in the circle of life. It's the circle of life, and it moves us all. There and faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life.
Live from San Diego's Historic Balboa Theatre, Cox presents A Salute to Teachers, brought to you by the San Diego County Credit Union, the San Diego County Teacher of the Year Awards, celebrating the finest in education. Tonight's salute is produced in partnership with the San Diego County Office of Education and sponsored by San Diego County Credit Union, the Sequan Band of the Kumeyaay Nation, the Super Dentists, Anthem Blue Cross, and Procopio. And now, your hosts for this evening are an award-winning journalist with CNN's investigative and documentary units, and a veteran San Diego broadcast journalist. Please welcome Kira Phillips and Dennis Morgino.
Thank you.
Look at this crowd.
This crowd is awesome. You guys started cheering even before the show started. All right, let's hear more.
Well, good evening to all of you, and welcome to the 27th annual Cox Presents a Salute to Teachers.
That is amazing. 27 years, can you believe it?
Yeah.
3 decades of celebrating teachers with this incredible event.
Yeah. And once again, I'm glad to be back here myself, but I'm also glad to be back here with my very good friend, CNN correspondent, and Helix High School graduate,
Woo! Go Highlanders!
Kara
Woo!
Phillips.
And it's always great to be here with Dennis. We have known each other even before we started doing Salute to Teachers. We go way a long time before, yes. And many of you here who join us every year for this beautiful celebration know that my twins have been growing up as fast as your students. And I want you to see a picture just a couple weeks ago, their first day of first grade.
Oh, I hear the awe. Little mini Kira and mini John.
That's right.
What was with the Aztec shirt
Yeah,
there?
did you guys notice that? It was awesome. That's Sage's favorite T-shirt is her San Diego State University Aztecs because my parents taught there. Kellen has one too, and they're huge. They love going to the games. They're a part of the spirit. What can I tell you?
New meaning of Aztec for life, right?
Yes, indeed.
Start them early.
And as teachers, you guys know that this is the age, definitely, where so many complex questions are coming at you. Not just, hey, when are we going to the next Aztec game?
Yeah, right.
But in just the past few weeks, Sage and Kellen have already asked me, why does North Korea want missiles?
How old are these kids?
Yeah, 6 years old. They actually watched a PBS special.
Oy.
Why does Taylor Swift show her belly button?
I want to know that.
And then, of course, even though they were excited to go to the first grade, they said, Mom, explain to us why we have to go to school.
Well, at least they're normal kids. All very
It's
good
true.
questions that deserve answers, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And this is what I told them.
Okay.
I told them that they have to go to school because not only are they going to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, but there are also students from 51 different countries that will be going to public school with them in Washington, D.C. That's right. Actually,
That's pretty cool.
McLean, Virginia, actually.
Yeah, close enough.
And also learning
Yeah.
to understand a variety of cultures, appreciate diversity, and have compassion for others is the best education I could ever give my kids. And I'm so grateful for all of you, yes, and what you do every day to teach acceptance and understanding. That's what I want my kids to understand.
Amen to that, my friend. No, really. I mean, Kira and I say this every year, and at least we seem to say it every year, but this time we're really not kidding. No, we're not. We kid a lot, but this time we're not kidding. You guys might be our only hope. I'm serious. I see a lot of nodding heads. You guys might be our only hope. Think about it. It seems to me that all the unrest that we're witnessing, not just in our own country, but around the world, is caused by people who've decided to stop learning and live in a bubble, right?
Yep.
And think about it. The biggest bubble burster of all is the great melting pot of public education.
Amen.
Your classrooms are the natural facilitators of a dialogue that should be happening everywhere. And we're here tonight because you've all proven you're up to the challenge. So thank you.
Got a great evening planned for you.
Back in 2 minutes to get started. Thanks for coming.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K through 12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Teachers in San Diego, Riverside, and Orange counties can prepare for the school year without emptying their pockets. Class Cash allows teachers to finance the cost of their classroom supplies for free. Get a $500 signature loan at 0% APR for 10 months. For details, visit sdccu.com.
Stay with us. The first Teacher of the Year finalists will be announced next.
I like that once I come in the classroom, he always has everything prepared.
He really cares. about his students, not just their educational career, not just their current state of how they're living and going about life. He cares long term.
She just created such a fun feeling and vibe in the classroom that while you were at school, you just wanted to learn and you had an urge to learn.
I think she's a great teacher because she treats our class like family. If one of us seems sad, she'll take a minute from what she's doing and take us outside and tell us if we're okay.
Well, I never used to like math, but she taught me all this stuff about math and I'm like, wow. And now my favorite subject is math.
He always believes that they can be someone great and do good things in life. And he's just an awesome teacher, and he makes math fun. He makes everything fun.
She understands everyone and she makes sure people are okay and she makes sure we're understanding things.
Miss B is a great teacher and she's awesome.
All the other teachers are like so serious and she's just always smiley. But when we like don't follow the rules on the playground, she's like so mad.
She just like makes it very clear that she is human and that we are human and we're all gonna make mistakes. And she makes it, her classroom just like this little safe place. It's like you can't mess up because Ms. Hart is there.
They're the best. Welcome back to the 27th Annual Salute to Teachers Show.
And I always look forward to coming back to San Diego, my hometown, for this event every year. Yes, let's hear it for San Diego. Woo! And I love all this good energy. It's awesome.
Yeah. You know, I've been hearing a lot this year about tweeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you?
Not me.
Yeah. No, not at work, nothing?
Does our president tweet?
Maybe.
Oh, that's a whole nother show.
Not that I would notice. Anyway, so I think we need to get the Twitterverse excited about something that really matters, right? You
we were
guys.
trending last year.
Yeah, really big. So, you ready? Now, you guys up front, you guys have to bring it because if we do this, all right, come here.
Get everybody?
Here we go.
I remember, and the hashtag, yeah, oh, there we go. They're getting ready, see?
All right.
Here we go. Everyone go crazy.
What's in
3,
front of
2,
my-
1. Louder, louder! Okay, he cannot take a picture without the shadow over his face. You should see it like this. You see his little, like Kilroy in
Shadow
his
of the
eyes.
camera. You want to try? Here.
No, I think we better keep going.
Oh,
but we
okay.
will take more pictures throughout the night, I promise. We're showing our age now. We can't do a Twitter picture.
Shocking. Hashtag Cox Salute, okay? Anyone wants to share? Hashtag Cox Salute.
And yes, please share with everyone that you know who has been impacted by a teacher, because that's what we're going to be talking about all night, and we want everybody to know about you, the teacher that you love, and this event.
You've got some special teachers in the audience that you already talked about.
Matter of fact, my
Yes.
mom is here tonight. She was a teacher for the deaf. And also, my high school journalism teacher, Jessica Patton, is here. How about for Mom and Jessica? Also, sitting with my kids. They're sitting with my kids, Sage and Kellen. Sage and Kellen, come on, and Aunt Irene.
No, don't be shy.
Yes.
Come on, Kellen.
Okay, my son is embarrassing me. Come on, son. I have a lot of special people and special teachers with me here tonight.
All right, well, speaking of teachers.
All right, so Kellen doesn't like the cameras. That's all right. But Sage was enjoying that.
Yeah, you know, the beauty about what we do for a living, my friend, is that you can embarrass him with that for years to come.
Yep. That'll be the wedding ceremony or the graduation
Right.
or the,
Hey, Kellen, remember when? Yeah. They still do that to me. Well, speaking of teachers, let's get on with the business of the night and meet some of tonight's nominees.
Yes, let's definitely do that. For the third year in a row, San Diego County Credit Union is the title sponsor of Salute to Teachers. We love you and appreciate you.
They understand how vital great teachers are in building strong, successful communities.
Please welcome from San Diego County Credit Union, Nathan Smith.
Good evening. San Diego County Credit Union would like to salute the teachers who dedicate their time to education. Be proud of the work that you do. Your influence on students doesn't end in the classroom and will impact young lives in ways that you may never know. It is my pleasure to introduce the first group of nominees.
Susan Moynihan, Vista.
And so many students come in the door saying either I can't do math or I don't like math, or maybe they're saying both. And when I can convince them otherwise or get them to see that it's not that bad and they can do it, you know how good it feels like when you win, when your underdog team wins, and that's how it is with the students.
David Peterson, Escondido.
So they've made their own goals of things that they think they need to work on, and those goals are what drives them. And it's also, for them, it's gratifying to meet those goals and then reset them higher. Goals are something they're going to need for middle school and high school, and you always be forward-looking. So I think goals are an important thing for them, and it drives them and it gives them direction.
Lynette Ellis, Alpine.
They need to feel that safety. They need to feel that any of the other students as well are not going to tease them for a wrong answer or laugh at a wrong answer. Just that feeling of being safe and not that shy little boy or girl in the classroom. And once they feel safe and know that it's okay to take risks, it's okay to make mistakes in the classroom, we can learn from our mistakes, then the learning will happen.
Ron Martino, Oceanside.
You know, we think education is a bunch of books. We think education is, you know, the bits and pieces of information we learn, but it's much more. And you remember these little bits and pieces of information, but you realize that is a bigger picture that the kids learn, and that's life. And life is solving problems. Life is, you know, learning how to communicate. Life is how to deal with people. And if you can bring this in your lessons, that makes life so much easier for you, and that's what education is all about.
The first finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Susan Moynihan.
Susan Moynihan teaches 8th grade math at Madison Middle School in Vista. Mantra is success equals attitude plus effort, and she knows the skills her students gain learning math will apply throughout their lives.
Sometimes I think our system, we've created helpless students where every time we answer their question, they don't have to think for themselves. And so often they have the answer and they just don't realize it, and they need to think, and they're there. And a lot of times I'll answer their question with a question that helps them get to the answer, and then I walk away. It's the coolest thing, because 2 steps away you hear them, oh, that sound, that's the sound, oh. Teaching's a gift, and Susan has that gift. Sometimes they kind of wonder at her energy level and her enthusiasm for math, and sometimes they think, is that real? Is she really that excited about math? And I say, yeah, she's really that excited about math. They know that she cares about them, and they know that they're going to see the same sort of consistency every day. Math isn't about doing problems on a worksheet. It is a way of thinking, and showing them the application of it and letting them have success in different ways.
I'd like to thank you for helping me get through all my education with math, because it's helped me a lot along the way with figuring out certain physics, and for basic life tasks like adding stuff, or yeah.
my gosh, what an amazing privilege it is to be here. I'm a math teacher. I should be able to count my blessings, but I'm scared. I want to appreciate and thank my parents. They're not here, but they raised me right. We love parents who raise them right. My husband is here, and I can't thank and appreciate him enough for always being with me and supporting me through the highs and lows of our crazy adventure of teaching. And I'm holding this tonight, but there's thousands of students and other educators who deserve a part of this. Thank you.
All right, off to a great start. Our next presenter is a Teacher of the Year who asks her students a simple question. What do you enjoy doing?
And then she takes their answer and applies STEM learning.
Take two, we're going live.
Jenny Chen is part of the Maker movement. Her STEM lab engages K through 5th graders.
When I was growing up, you grew up with this very traditional sense of education, and our world is changing, and we want to make sure we evolve with that.
Chen was named County Teacher of the Year and a California Teacher of the Year, pushing STEM in every grade for every student.
I started to see some trends with STEM, and even though I fully advocate for STEM, I'm really looking at the subgroup of girls and minorities and helping them get into the STEM workforce. Stephanie, let's bring the teleprompter a little closer to her, okay?
The Teacher of the Year titles gave her broader impact and access to other passionate educators.
It's really validating to see how far we've come and just the amazing things that are being offered in public education. So exciting times are ahead, for sure.
Please welcome your San Diego County and California State Teacher of the Year, Jenny Chen.
Good evening. It's such an exciting time to be in education. Students are encouraged to be creative and think critically about how to solve problems from a community level to a global scale. Teachers are preparing students in careers in developing apps that make life easier and building underwater vehicles to further research about sharks. Teachers guide students as they discover their passions, gain empathy for humanity, and apply their knowledge of sciences to take action in the world. As teachers, we shape the world. Now, let's meet the next group of teachers who are shaping our world.
Melody Morris, Sweetwater.
For so many students, math is just a way to increase their critical thinking and to really make them problem solve, because life is problem solving. And I try to get that across to them, that I'm increasing their problem solving skills in every problem that we tackle, and that when they face an issue out in their real life, they're going to be able to attack it from lots of different angles, because that's what we're practicing in our classroom.
James Feeberg, Carlsbad.
I'm not a believer in here are your instructions, do what I tell you to do, get the outcome that I'm hoping that you get. I'm a believer in see what happens, take the thing apart, test it out, throw it in the air, get some data, and then let's make some observations. So this idea of wise freedom is explore within the parameters of the class, but still explore.
Cynthia Roncoroni, Sweetwater.
You don't get kids somewhere by beating them forward. You put out their goal and their dreams and that carrot in the front, and then you systematically give them steps where they can see themselves succeeding. Any resistance goes away. And that's one thing I love the most about Southwest High School. These kids really want to change the trajectory of their future. And so their work ethic it's on par with no one I've ever seen before.
Keith Opstead, Poway.
My classroom is an incredibly unique place on campus. It represents grades 9 through 12, every ability, every disability, about 40 students per class. But the actual physical classroom, I've worked really hard to create an environment that everybody feels welcome. It looks like Comic-Con exploded, so there's everything from superheroes and Star Wars to colors to everything, a lot of eye candy, lots of visuals, because I figure they're there for an hour and a half every single day. I want them to have a positive, fun place where they can feel comfortable and be themselves.
The second finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is James Feberg.
James Feberg teaches science, physics, and engineering at Sage Creek High School in Carlsbad. He encourages his students to do lots of science, but also to sharpen their imaginations in preparation for an amazing future.
We basically in physics get to play with toys. And once they see that, they get really, really excited. They get to touch, they get to feel, they get to throw things and make measurements, make observations. And through that, I truly, truly believe and hope that the kids get very excited about learning and doing science.
James is definitely a tough teacher. I wouldn't say he's easy, but it's the type of classroom that kids want to come into, and they're excited to be there because he cares so much about the kids. And it's always about the students. He always puts students first.
Well, I think the biggest thing that my students get out of my class is the ability to think critically. And I say this to all my students on day one, that when they leave the classroom in June, I don't really care if they know the physics. What I do care about is that they walk away as better problem solvers and better thinkers.
Thank you for never giving up on me. You know, I'm that kid who always has 1,000 questions. Wait, Mr. Feberg, why does this work? He'll explain it. Wait, why does this work? And I know that will also carry over into college with me. So thanks for sticking with me, Phoebes.
Thank you. Just two people mainly. I'd like to thank my wife, Allison. You are the support of our family, and I love you tremendously. And I'd also like to thank my principal, Mr. Cesar Morales. Cesar, you enable us to innovate, to experiment, and we all at Sage Creek are so grateful for the support that you give us. Thank you. And thanks to Cox Communications. We need to recognize teachers, and I think this is amazing. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Superdentist, we want to salute you teachers for transforming young lives every single day. We value education tremendously at the Superdentist, and it's always been a cornerstone of our practice. For example, we go to 1,000 schools every year and teach more than 30,000 kids about dental education. And we're also very proud to be part of BizTown Junior Achievement to teach financial literacy to kids. Congratulations, and thank you for changing lives one smile at a time.
Whether it's critical news that's going to affect you, moments of truth for your favorite local sports team, or inclement weather about to strike, KUSI is there. For your news and information, there's one place better than all the rest. Go to KUSI News, because KUSI is there. When news happens in our community, you want to know, because it affects how you live. Whatever your neighborhood, we are all San Diegans, and no one covers San Diego like KUSI. More local news. KUSI News.
Stay tuned. Some of San Diego's finest young musical talent when we come back.
I think it's important to get a good education because that's your life. Once you have an education, you get a job, you have a family, then you retire.
If we had no schools, we would not know anything. Our brains would not be stronger. We wouldn't have anything to do. We wouldn't have fun. We wouldn't learn at all. So this is why we need teachers. That's why they're heroes.
It determines who you grow up to be, what you go on to do, and having a solid education is really, really important for going on to have just a content and successful life.
I can read big words instead of little words because it's like hard to see when it's little words.
we learn something new every day, not just academics, but a lesson for life.
Because like you get to learn in a lot of different ways, and they even you even get to go to lunch, and it's just really fun to learn about all different things.
I like learning more, furthering my education, pushing my limits, even though it's sometimes stressful, I'm not gonna lie. But I think it's rewarding at the end of the day, and get smarter for yourself. Just keep pushing yourself to do better.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time to show off some more of San Diego's fantastically talented students.
Fantastic indeed. Are you ready to get all your toes a-tapping?
Yes, sir. Please welcome from Lakeside Middle School, Aptitude.
Woo! He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. A-toot, the attitude, he rolls an 8 to the bar. He can't blow a nose, the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. And when he plays boogie woogie bugle, he's as busy as a busy bee. He plays, it makes the company jump and eat to the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. To the attitude, toot toot. He blows an 8 to the bar. He can't blow a nose, the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Nice.
All right.
Aptitude.
Woo!
Yeah, come on. Madame.
Love it. Love it. Old school and kicking it. Great job, you guys.
Great job. That's some up-tempo, huh?
Yay.
Yes, indeed. That's what
bump
we
up
needed.
our dance skills, that's for sure.
Never happened. Our next presenter is a Teacher of the Year who spends every day with students having their first experiences with school, kindergartners.
And even though they're small, she embraces the no excuses approach to reaching all her students.
Heavier! Heavier! Lighter! Lighter!
You can feel her energy.
I'm gonna lead and lead and lead!
More than 80% of Amy Schwenke's kindergartners come from low-income households in Fallbrook. She says it's her responsibility to instill a love of learning.
There's no room for ego. It's not about you, it's about your students and building up their egos and making them believe in themselves.
Amy Schwenke.
The Teacher of the Year recognition thrust her into the spotlight at sporting events, and the Holiday Bowl parade.
They were yelling and they're like, oh, we love you teachers, you worked so hard. And it was really very fulfilling to hear.
And the title gave her a voice of urgency on behalf of all students.
Help these students find something that they can connect to, a hook that keeps them in school, that makes them love being there, so that they can move past things that may be holding them back.
It's heavier, I love it. Who's the teacher now?
And here she is, your San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Amy Schwenke.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight to celebrate our San Diego educators. This is truly a one-of-a-kind event, thanks to Cox Communications, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Recently, I was doing some reading, and I read a quote that really touched my heart, and it said, "To be somebody that makes everybody feel like somebody every day." And that's exactly what our next nominees do in their classrooms. Let's meet our next finalists.
Rebecca Chuevalle, Cajon Valley.
Well, all of my students speak Spanish at home, and our goal is to maintain that first language and make them completely bilingual in both English and Spanish. I think that when a child has two languages, they are able to gain so much knowledge and share all that knowledge with others. And not only will they be able to share knowledge with others, but I just find that there's so many opportunities when you're speaking multiple languages.
Ben Swearingen, South Bay.
Well, I realized that literacy is the key to all learning. You know, of course, the other subject matters are important as well, but if you can't read, it's hard to do much else. And I want to work in an environment where I'm helping people learn how to read. And along the way, I can teach them writing and math and history and science and ballroom dancing. But that's why I chose 5th grade.
Claudia Sanchez Guevara, San Diego.
The first thing you'll notice when someone walks into my classroom is superheroes, which makes it inviting for the students. They're very proud of the classroom. And it's also a theme that we use throughout the year, the idea that everyone can be a superhero, that we can all be heroes for ourselves and for others, and that is part of getting an education. So the theme is not only in the environment, but it's also within the curriculum.
Michelle Turnbull, Del Mar.
I think what I teach them is that they matter. You know, a lot of times kids come into the classroom and they think they're just a number, and making them feel like an individual, that they are appreciated, that they have a place in that classroom and a role in that classroom and in the world, I think is one of the biggest things that I hope they leave me with, is just that their opinion matters, their successes, their struggles, all of those things matter.
Our third finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Ben Swearingen.
Ben Swearingen teaches 5th grade at Imperial Beach Charter School. He urges each of his students to see with a broader world view and knows that education will empower them to forge their own path wherever they choose to go.
I like to push my students beyond, I think, what a lot of them come in believing about themselves. We look at a lot of issues that some might consider mature for 5th graders, things like civil rights, things like global warming, which is a big issue today.
When you walk in to Mr. Swearingen's class, there's a sense of calmness and this nurturing learning environment. He's very kind and calm, and the students are very receptive to him. He's just phenomenal. So we're really, really lucky to have him.
I really do believe that education is the key to taking charge of your own future, of your own destiny. I want them to come out knowing that they can solve any problem they put their mind to, and to have that confidence to do it and go for it.
He's always really focused. He likes to learn about other things too, and he likes to get things done,
but not in a strict, mean way. He just knows what he's saying.
Wow. I want to thank first and foremost my wife Lisa, my daughters Safia Noemi, and my mother-in-law Jean Ordonez, who have supported me wholeheartedly through since day one, with all my harebrained ideas and extra time spent at school, and my partners in teaching, Shamber and Aaron, who called me back to IB Elementary and have also put up with all my harebrained ideas and been my mentors along the way, and all the other teachers in our district who deserve this award just as much as me. They put all their heart into it every single day and couldn't do it without the community. Thank you.
And we'd like to thank his student who thinks he doesn't do things in a mean way.
Yes.
Well, she was adorable. Our next presenter represents an organization focused on keeping our communities healthy.
And they also realize that there are many aspects of a healthy community, and a thriving educational system is key.
Please welcome a new sponsor to Salute to Teachers this year from Anthem Blue Cross, Paige Rothermel.
Good evening. Anthem Blue Cross is proud to honor the teachers who educate the young people who will ultimately shape our future. Your dedication to making a difference through all you do to facilitate learning at our schools contributes to the overall health of our communities. It is now my pleasure to introduce the next group of nominees.
Camden Flores, La Mesa, Spring Valley.
And I feel like it's the hardest teaching you'll do. You have to be social worker, counselor, nutritionist, nurse, an actor. You have to motivate constantly. But the reward is so huge because you know that you're making a difference and that they need you and they appreciate it. It's it's a powerful world to be a part of.
Ashley Cranick, Ramona.
I want them to have fun and enjoy school because it's their first experience and they're going to be there for a very long time. And I want to get them ready to access the things that are happening around them, but also to see how it doesn't just happen at school and how the things we are learning at school will help them succeed in life, even at home in their family, with their neighbors or in their community.
Blanca Hernandez Stingle, Chula Vista.
I feel that in today's world, it is a necessity to be bilingual, whether it's in Spanish, English, French, or Mandarin, because our society is ever changing, and I feel that children need to be exposed to multiple languages to better themselves in the global world or in their career.
Cheryl Uribe, Mountain Empire.
The most important thing for any student to have, eventually I think they'll get all the things that their brain needs to remember and work with, but I believe that my greatest mission is for students to just continue with a great love of learning.
Evie Baca, National.
I've learned that being bilingual, it's definitely opened doors for me. We're such an international kind of world now, and I think to compete, you have to be able to communicate your ideas, and those that can do it in 2 languages, that's even better.
The fourth finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Camden Flores.
Camden Flores teaches kindergarten at Kempton Street Literacy Academy in Spring Valley. She creates an exciting and supportive learning environment, motivating her students to reach for a future they didn't know was within their grasp.
I love that I get to spend my days and share my classroom with the most amazing, resilient, energetic, insightful kind, helpful, smart human beings every day. We become a school family. We help each other, we laugh together, we cry together. The kids really learn to bond with each other and to bond with me. And it's really amazing to be a part of something bigger than yourself. It's amazing what they're capable of.
She's calm and she's energetic. Her personality is so accepting. She meets every kid where they are when they come in the door, academically, behaviorally, their past, what their family situations, and she can take them to the highest levels.
Well, of course, I hope that they've learned the curriculum. But what's as important, if not more important to me, is that they've learned that they can learn anything as long as they're willing to work hard, that failure is okay because you learn from your mistakes.
Thank you for teaching us a lot.
I'd like to share this with all the family, friends, and significant others in the audience, because you see our tears, you hear our struggles, and you know the sacrifices we make for our students. And instead of telling us to slow down, instead of criticizing us for giving too much, you encourage us, you lift us up, and this would be a very lonely journey without you. So this is for all of you. Thank you.
The positive impacts of tribal government gaming are far-reaching.
It's positively changed lives on and off our reservations.
It's strengthened our governments and business development opportunities.
It's created 60,000 jobs and $8 billion in annual economic impact for California.
Tribal government services and charitable giving help entire communities.
Every day, self-reliance positively impacts San Diego and all of California.
Founded in 1946. 7 decades of excellence. One of the most well-respected law firms in the Western region. Collaborating to solve your problems. Focused on the success of your business. Experts in over 40 practice areas. Big firm experience without the big firm fees. With a global footprint, creating innovative solutions to complex problems wherever you do business. Developing winning strategies for some of the top domestic and international businesses. Expert solutions to complex problems. Procopio. Shift forward.
Stay right there. A tropical experience awaits when we come back.
SDCCU is deeply committed to helping individuals in our communities make educated financial decisions by delivering the best financial products, services, and education. We understand that encouraging and maintaining good financial health is essential to fostering a healthy, safe, and thriving economy. This is why financial wellness is a key component of SDCCU's community outreach.
Research shows that the average high school graduate lacks basic skills to manage their personal finances. Many young people also experience difficulty balancing accounts, and half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. SDCCU is stepping up to help bridge this educational gap so students can gain the skills they need for a successful financial future. SDCCU has partnered with the San Diego County Office of Education and the County of San Diego in support of the Live Well San Diego initiative to offer the SDCCU Biz Kids program to educators so they can teach their students about money and business.
Financial literacy is an important part of a child's education, and the San Diego County Office of Education is pleased to partner with the San Diego County Credit Union to provide valuable resources to local teachers. The SDCCU Biz Kids program will help lay the groundwork for students to begin building a successful financial future.
The SDCCU Biz Kids program meets local, state, and national standards for financial literacy. It's designed to teach students the basics of money and business and to help them make better financial decisions early. These priceless skills will influence the purchase of their first car, the financing of their education or first home loan, and enhance their lives for years to come.
Today's students will benefit years into the future from our partnership with San Diego County Credit Union and the San Diego County Office of Education. The ability to manage one's money is a core element to achieving the county's Live Well, Thriving strategy, which focuses on helping communities to grow and to enjoy the highest quality of life.
SDCCU encourages teachers to learn more about the SDCCU Biz Kids program and to incorporate these educational resources into their lesson plans to help make a positive difference in the lives of students.
Tonight's salute is made possible by the generosity of these sponsors.
I learned from her that if you work hard for something, in the future you'll get rewards for it. So if you keep working hard for your goals, you'll get it.
If you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. So if you're gonna say something bad, hold it back or say it to some trusted person. Don't say it to someone you know is gonna spread.
When I fail, I have to keep on trying and trying until I make that not a fail and make that something perfect.
I learned that letters and the continent. I learned to be a narrator and a writer and mathematical thinker.
The most important thing I've learned from Ms. Shiglin is to be yourself, as cliche as that sounds, but it's what she taught me.
I can do much more than I thought I could, and I can push myself farther than I thought I could.
I think the most important thing I've learned from him is that you need to keep trying, and it's not going to come out perfect the first few times, so it could, but it most likely won't, so you just need to keep trying. And I think that's important.
She told us, you have to keep persevering, and that was one of our key words in our class, to persevere.
That everything has a purpose. Everything. I remember he would say that all the time, and it's true.
Welcome back. How's everybody doing out there? Good.
Oh boy. Everybody feeling a little tropical maybe?
Yeah, I have a feeling it's about to get a little loud as well.
Please welcome from Southwest Middle and High Schools, the Island Steel Drum Band.
Yeah. Let's hear it for him.
Mallets up! Woo! This is going to be the quickest departure from a stage you've ever seen on television. It's going to be amazing.
Meanwhile, our next presenter teaches kids about what really is under the sea.
He's a Teacher of the Year who offers his students both adventure, this is an adventure right here, let me tell you, and advice.
When we talk about evolution, we talk about camouflage, right? What happens if the environment changes? The animal doesn't what? It has to adapt, right? Otherwise, what's going to happen? It's going to die because the camouflage doesn't work.
Stuart Douglas teaches biology in the South Bay.
Stuart Douglas.
And last year, he wore his heart on his sleeve.
My students, I tell you all the time that we are made from the dust of stars. And I see it shine in you. Continue to shine.
He's also got a sense of humor and enjoys joking about County Teacher of the Year perks.
Me and some friends said it should all just be about, burritos and fishing. I emailed my superintendent and she emailed me right back. I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. It got me a free churro.
In all seriousness, he boldly raised the issue of disparity.
I really don't believe that education is equitable. I don't think it's right. I think we have a huge achievement gap that's only going to get greater as we move forward.
So he preaches and practices giving students new experiences.
In my urban community where I teach, I'm still amazed every year I have students that have never been to the beach.
Douglas mixes nature and a message of conservation with a big dose of mentoring.
Like I always tell my students, I said, your destiny is not your zip code. Your destiny is your dreams. It's not going to be given to you. You have to work for it. But if you really want it, you can do it.
Could see all the confetti on the floor, the viewers watching this show. Are we having a party here tonight or what? Please welcome your San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Stuart Douglas.
Good evening. As teachers, we inspire ideas. We awaken interest and instill messages of grit, determination, and the belief that with hard work and dedication, any student's dreams can become a reality. We don't just teach a subject, we teach life. Now, we may have many problems in our society, from tweeting and global climate change to missiles and drought and floods, but I am hopeful because every day I get to see the magic and the fantastic abilities of our youth. I always tell my students, shine like stars, chase your dreams, and make the world a better place every day. I know I'm not alone in this belief. This room is filled with people who are dedicated to the children and learning of our nation. It is an honor and privilege to be here tonight presenting our next group of nominees.
Danielle Adams, Lemon Grove.
I think the most important thing that I teach is respect. Respect for authority, respect for their classmates, respect for themselves. You'll probably hear me say 500 times a day, stop, so-and-so is speaking, let's make sure we give them our full attention, let's make sure we give them our respect. And they hear that word all day, every day.
Mesa Batar, Valley Center, Palma.
I feel my mission as a teacher is not just prepare them for third grade and beyond. I want them to be active participants in our life. And I want them also to be 21st century learners that can be early adopters of new inventions. I want them to attend to a task without the fear of failure. I want them to be confident and be proud of what they do.
Joey Stark, Bonsall.
Academic growth is very important. I don't think it's the most important thing that I teach. I like to teach the whole child. I want my kids to be kids of good character. I want my kids to understand that they can accomplish anything that they set out to do. And whether that be getting good grades or being a role model for younger students on our campus, I want them to be confident in themselves and know that whatever it is that they want to do after they leave 5th grade, they're going to be successful doing.
Susie Bass, Lakeside.
I'm the type of teacher that I believe they all can be successful regardless of how they come to me with academics, behaviors, emotions, social skills, and then together we grow as a team, and over the course of the year they master those different academics, their rigorous curriculum. I spend a lot of time working with them on social skills. I want them to be really good, productive, respectful, responsible members of our society.
Rachel Mednick, Chula Vista.
6th graders are a very special breed of student, but they get my sense of humor, and I spend a lot of time in the classroom laughing with them, and they need a lot of nurturing and support at this time of their life because it's really pivotal, and they're on the brink of just, becoming teenagers and going out into the world. So I feel like it's kind of my last opportunity to get to them before I send them off to multiple teachers.
And the 5th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Rachel Mednick.
Rachel Mednick teaches a 5th and 6th grade combo class at Rosebank Elementary School in Chula Vista. She works to impart skills for the 21st century, but realizes the most important thing her students need to know is that she believes in their potential.
So I make sure that parents know at the very beginning of the year that I have very high expectations for all of my students, and that's because I believe that no matter what, they can all achieve greatness and success, that the curriculum doesn't necessarily need to be watered down for them. They just need to be pushed and given the right supports to be able to reach their full potential.
When she interacts with students, she's amazing. Her expectations are very high. All of her teaching is very rigorous, and she expects that all of her students do their best, that they try their hardest. There's no can't do, everything's can do. And you see that in the students and how they progress throughout the year and how they show growth.
If they can just leave the world with a little bit more kindness than it was before, just trying to teach them that it's important. You don't have to like everybody, but it's important to treat everybody with respect.
Ms. Mednick being my teacher, I feel like I became a nicer person, that I really learned how to cooperate with people, and I know how to talk to people and discuss problems and be able to just communicate with other people, which is what I learned in her class.
Oh my gosh. The last time I was here at the Salute to Teachers, I was in the audience 17 years ago watching my mom on the stage. So I just wanted to say thank you, Mom, for being my inspiration, and to all of my friends and family that are here. And thank you so much to the staff at Rosebank and my wonderful team partner, Michelle Williams, who's been with me for a very long time. And I'd like to share this with all of the teachers from Chula Vista. I'm so happy that we're back doing this program. Thank you.
A second-generation winner. How cool is that?
Let's hear it for our moms who are also teachers, our teachers.
Way to go, Mom.
Our next presenter represents a group that has a very long history in the San Diego region.
They also have a very long history of supporting our community and are longtime supporters of education and this show.
That's right. Please welcome on behalf of the Sequan Band of the Kumeyaay Nation, Maria McRoberts.
Good evening. Teachers are more important than ever. Every day, they work to inspire our children, to enrich their lives with knowledge, and to shape them into the responsible leaders of tomorrow. Sequan is honored to pay tribute to the group of men and women who proudly call themselves teachers. Now, let's meet the next group of nominees.
Michelle McGill, San Pasqual.
Well, what I expect of my students, I would expect of myself. If we're learning something, if they're struggling with something, I'm going to be there right beside them. It's not them, here's your work, you're on your own. It's, I'm here with you, I'm right beside you. And so we're going to walk the walk together.
Carrie Siglin, Sweetwater.
Well, I think that I see my students grow a lot during the year because I like to give them these opportunities to become, the best versions of themselves and give them the structure and support that they need to be able to really just shine and show off what they can do and who they are as people. They just kind of need a chance to do all that.
Mark Landsberger, Poway.
My philosophy is that every person is just that, a person. They've got a story, they've got their background. It's important for me, before I can get them to understand my content, to know who they are, where they come from, and what they're about. Every year I get a whole new batch of these inquisitive, amazing folks. What's not to love?
Susie Bouchard, San Dieguito.
So yes, my students have a variety of disabilities in my classroom, and so it's a matter of problem solving for each student. I consider each one of my students a puzzle, and putting all the pieces together is what is fun. It takes a team of teachers, administrators, parents, community members to help support our students, and that's what makes them so successful.
The sixth finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Mark Landsberger.
Mark Landsberger teaches computer science and AP computer science at Del Norte High School in Poway. His students come to learn about technology, but he makes sure they leave having learned how to think.
If I have a goal, how do I break down the process to get the steps towards that goal? And CS is absolutely a gateway to that. It's a way to break down a large problem into smaller components, which are each individually attainable. And that's a life skill. That's a life skill. That's not about machines. That's not about circuits and code. That's about problem solving.
What I appreciate most about Mark is he doesn't rescue his students in the struggle. He's very patient. He's present, he's visible, supportive and encouraging, but he doesn't rescue. He's going to direct you to go back and figure out which character is out of place, right, where your issue is, because what they gain in their experience with him is self-efficacy.
They have more tolerance for frustration than they ever would know, and they won't know it until they bang up against that ceiling. And that's one of my principal jobs, is to get them to bang their head against that ceiling, because that grows resilience. And I want them to walk away resilient people, that they can face some adverse situation, whether it's academic or social or interpersonal, that they can bounce back from that and come at it the next day.
I would thank him for raising my tolerance for frustration. And I've definitely learned how to deal with problems and try to be patient with not only code, but people also. So really interpersonal skills and just logical skills and thinking through problems.
Honestly, to be counted amongst 43 amazing teachers in this county is incredible. Wow. And to be selected in the final 10 is flabbergasting, to say the least. I have to thank my principal, Greg Mizell, for establishing the nest and making it everything that it is. And I'd also like to thank my beautiful wife, Commander Malbuff. I love you. May the wind be in your sails with fair seas, and always find a safe harbor.
Research shows that the average high school graduate lacks basic skills to manage personal finances. SDCCU is stepping up to help bridge this educational gap so students can gain the skills they need for a successful financial future. SDCCU encourages teachers to learn more about the SDCCU Biz Kids program and to incorporate these educational resources into their lesson plans to help make a positive difference in the lives of students. For details, visit sdccu.com.
Exceptional teachers shape our community's future and deserve our support. At Anthem Blue Cross, there's nothing more important than the health and well-being of California's children. From free immunization clinics to diabetes prevention or the volunteer work that our 8,000 Anthem associates do across the state, we're proud to be making a difference. Cox and Anthem Blue Cross thank these amazing educators for all they do. We salute you. Stay with us. A salute to teachers. We'll be right back.
So I want everybody to take a real deep breath.
Check out the brightest. Tune in to the smartest.
Go ahead.
In order, Gawain, Lancelot, and Galahad.
All three correct.
Correct. Bonus Otai. Learn why they're truly the coolest high school students in San Diego. And you'll see why they're in a league of their own. Academic League. Thursdays at 8 on ITV. Anytime online at itv.sdcoe.net.
The American dream, to me, means that we strive to make our country better by including everybody, whether you're a teacher, a lawyer, or a janitor.
Everything that essentially embodies America, the freedom, the democracy, the choice. And the American dream means escaping whatever it was that that's behind you, and it's coming to something more.
To have a happy world, I'm not saying we don't have one already, but like to have a world that's like caring, like more caring than it already is.
I want my country to live in peace. There's no hate.
I think my American dream is a pretty big one because I would like world peace, like for everyone. Because I think there's like many racism in the world and many starvation, and I would like all that to like not be in the world.
To me, it means being able to have a good life and a good education, and to be able to go on to a good college if you're willing to work hard for it.
My American dream is to have a purpose in my life.
My American dream would be equal opportunity for anybody, regardless of who you are, what skin color you are, where you come from, who you love. You always have the opportunity as long as you take your own personal responsibility and do your own effort.
Can we just say something tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to say something. One of the best parts about this job is when the teachers come back after they've won is to congratulate them, shake their hands. So Kira goes to Mark and goes, "Let me touch your hair."
I ran my fingers through the mohawk. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, go someplace I wasn't supposed to go. It was fantastic. Fantastic. He has brought the mohawk back. Actually, it never left.
Never left. So we're all having fun tonight, right? Yeah. We did get a picture of that, which we'll share later, but how's our other picture doing?
I tweeted your mohawk, I have to tell you, Mark. Poway High School better amp it up on the tweeting. Remember, the hashtag is @CoxSalute. Right. And we are trending, everybody. Yeah. Keep sharing everything, all right?
Where's our pic?
I think we've got the, do we have
the pic?
There it is. Woo! All right, everyone.
I finally got the camera out of my face. All right, back to business. Our next presenter represents a firm whose mantra is much like that of an effective teacher, to provide innovative, practical solutions to complex problems.
Please welcome from Procopio, Anthony Dane.
Good evening. Coming from a family where my mother, my father,
both sisters, my brother-in-laws on both sides of the family are teachers. I know the hard work and dedication that goes into this most profound and influential of professions. So Procopio is honored and proud to present the next group of nominees.
Jamie Brown, San Diego.
I know that the classroom environment is key. So if students feel safe and comfortable in class, that's when magic can happen, either with amazing whole class discussions or when students feel like they can take risks in their writing. I work really hard at the beginning of the year to establish a positive classroom environment, and I try to let them know from day one, I hear you, I'm listening to you, and your voice matters in my classroom.
Missy Lawler, Sweetwater.
I think that they see value in their own personal history. And I think when you can connect that value with their own lives in terms of how their history has shaped themselves, their families, their communities, I think that they can then connect that to the larger world and the history of the world.
Damian Patterson, Grossmont.
I remember the feeling of impossibility, if that's even a feeling, but just not believing that I was capable of doing certain things. And once I realized that I could, I wanted to pass that on to my students, and I think that I do that. That's one of my goals, my mission as a teacher is to instill that into my students, the fact that they have value and that they have purpose and they can do it.
Susan Michelina, Poway.
I teach my kids, no matter what their pathway is, to be educated and participating citizens of their communities. They love learning about history. They love being able to relate current events to historical events, and they find out that there's so many great stories in our past that relate to the future. They love it.
The 7th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Jamie Brown.
Jamie Brown teaches IB English and IB Film to seniors at the School of International Studies in San Diego High School. She empowers each of her students to find and use their voice in the classroom, the community, and the world.
IB stands for International Baccalaureate. It is an international program that is committed to not only rigorous curriculum, but also preparing students for an internationally minded, kind of globally minded life. So we have this tendency right now to exist within our own little bubbles. And I think now more than ever, students need to be able to think beyond those bubbles in order to navigate modern society in a thoughtful, compassionate way.
I think that's something that Jamie feels is part of the justice of the world, is everyone getting to have their own voice and everyone being able to stand up and speak for themselves. And I think that's one of the reasons why she encourages that in her students.
I hope that all students, when they've left my class, they feel like they've been able to find and use their voice, that everyone leaving my class will have 2 feet firmly on the ground and feel strong within themselves and able to use their voices beyond the education realm.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown, for believing in me and for letting me have my voice heard in the classroom.
I owe a huge thank you to my amazing family, especially my parents, and my husband Peter and my kids, and my colleagues and mentors at San Diego High. Go Cavers! Woohoo! Yeah. And one of my mentors and former high school history teachers is here, Mr. Murphy. Thank you. Thank you for inspiring me. I hope I made you proud. I'm so grateful to have this amazing job. Thank you.
Well, you might recognize our next presenter's name because of his famous brother.
But before becoming an actor, director, and producer himself, Joey Travolta worked as a special education teacher.
And about a decade ago, he decided to combine his passion for filmmaking and his desire to provide opportunity to young adults with developmental disabilities.
It's pretty amazing what he's done and continues to do, and the result has become Inclusion Films and has provided job training and a chance at independence for thousands of young people across the country.
It's really amazing. Please welcome a superstar in the truest sense of the word and a paisan, Mr. Joey Travolta.
You guys missed the spot over there. Good evening. I am so honored to be here tonight among so many dedicated and exceptional educators. I hated school. I wasn't a good student, and I couldn't wait to get out. So what did I do? I became a teacher. A special ed teacher. And thank you. And one of the reasons I did become a special ed teacher was an incident that happened. I was questioning a teacher. I was about 10 years old. And the teacher that I was questioning said to me, "Mr. Travolta, I am going to make you look like a penny waiting for change." I said, "Penny waiting for change? That's stupid." Wait a minute. Was he calling me stupid? I was so upset, so I told my father about it. And my father said to me, "Pennies have value and a purpose. You have value and a purpose. Everybody that you're going to meet out in the world has a value and a purpose." He said, "We all have gifts, son. Some of us just need a little help finding them." And then he said, "Get out of here before I make you look like a penny waiting for change." No, he didn't say that. But I became a teacher to make change. And 46 years later, I did. In 2006, I started doing filmmaking camps for children with autism all over the country. In 2007, created Inclusion Films, which is a practical film workshop for adults with developmental disabilities. We presently have 5 facilities, including one right here in San Diego. So between, thank you. So between the camps and the workshops, we've served over several thousand children and adults, teaching them life skills, job skills, creativity, collaboration, all through filmmaking. Here, we'll take a quick look at what we do. So let me hear your pitch.
The Detention Yard. This story is called Caffeined. It is about...
Great pitch, and I will let you know.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Travolta.
Okay. Inclusion Films is a practical film workshop that takes adults with developmental disabilities, I say different abilities, through the process of making a film. So they're taught camera, lighting, editing, building sets, acting, anything that goes into filmmaking, they learn.
One of the major parts of the workshop is having people do things by themselves and getting to a point where they don't need help to do it. Because a lot of the times people think that people with disabilities have to have help with everything, and that's just not the case.
My next class, I'll be heading over to the editing room, so.
They take to filmmaking. They love stories, they love television, they love to have a voice. And what filmmaking does is give you that voice. But not only that, you're a part of a team, you're a part of a family.
Quiet on set! Mark. Obviously, working in film is amazing fun, and I do really enjoy script writing, but being able to help other people with developmental disabilities find their calling in life, really, I think, is the most rewarding part of it all.
Because we're always trying to help them get jobs. We're always reaching out to get new opportunities and to really show them what they can do.
Honestly, the biggest impact to me is that it gave me more confidence in myself.
Anyone with a disability is capable of great things. It's just oftentimes we don't give them the opportunity to succeed. So that's what this workshop's all about, is getting rid of that glass ceiling and letting students fly as high as they can.
Everyone has a gift, and it's a matter of finding that gift and cultivating that gift. And that's what we do here. Now people can see the result of the work and see what happens when you give somebody an opportunity.
This is for the Hydro Art Club. You better go straight to the nurse. Get back here! We got a runner! We've got a runner!
That was awesome.
Thank you. We're very proud of what we've accomplished with our participants in the filmmaking program and the camps, and we're really excited about our relationship with Cox Communications. This is an unbelievable company. Right before this show started, we aired our first episode. And right after the show, they're going to rerun it again. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch it because we're sitting here. But you'll get to watch it. They'll rerun it. I guess that. I knew that, you can't trust the Travolta at an award show. But now I see why. It's the teleprompter. Come on, I went off book a little bit, so okay. Our next presenter shares my passion for inclusion and has spent her career promoting her belief that all students should be a part of general education in our public schools. Take a look.
Which color do you want to do? Which one do you think Mom would like? Purple.
Megan Gross is a special education high school teacher who specializes in inclusion education.
Inclusive education means to me that students of all ability levels, whether they have mild learning disabilities to severe cognitive disabilities, have opportunities to fully engage in grade level general education curriculum.
Megan Gross. And so began a year of recognition.
It's really nice to be a part of a community that celebrates teachers, from the San Diego State Aztec football team, to the Padres, to our County Board of Supervisors. We were showered with love this year.
Gross went on to be named a California Teacher of the Year, and then
the opportunity to be a top 4 finalist for National Teacher of the Year. I got to stand in front of 18 different national education organizations and talk to them about inclusive education and see their heads shake and their notes writing down of, we should do that.
Her advocacy efforts reached far beyond her classroom and school.
I think that there's no more valuable program than the Teacher of the Year program.
She's my new hero. It's my pleasure to introduce the San Diego County, California State, and finalist for National Teacher of the Year, Megan Gross.
Good evening. Hello to everyone at home watching us tonight at home. Teachers see students for who they are and for who they could be. They empower each student to find an authentic voice, provide leadership, and support necessary for students to navigate unknown or challenging paths, and demonstrate how to celebrate the beauty of the inclusive, diverse communities that exist within each of our schools. Teachers do this without fuss or fanfare. They do it because, as my 7-year-old son says, that's what teachers do. They teach. Let's meet our next group of nominees.
Catherine Ducharme, Santee.
Trying to solve problems and teaching kids that regurgitating answers isn't learning. Learning is being able to take something you know and go a step further with it to solve a real world problem. And that's kind of my perspective with robotics. Some kids hate it because there's no answer, and they want an answer that they can look up. And with robotics, there's no answer that you can just look up. You have to troubleshoot it. You have to figure out why it's working and not working and how to make it work better.
Lisa Campbell, Solana Beach.
You don't feel comfortable and you don't feel accepted and you don't feel loved, you're not going to be in an environment where you're able to learn. So that's why we say every single day our most important rule is to take care of each other, to be good people, to be kind. I think that part of my job is to help grow a human being. So I think that comes first, and then once you have that piece in place, then the other pieces fall in much more easily.
Christopher Burrows, Fallbrook.
I adorn my walls with comic book posters. I try and make the classroom an inviting place for kids to be. So we developed essential questions around the ideas of perseverance and around the ideas of who should be your role models and why it's important to create a better tomorrow. And then I challenged them to think about who are the idols that you look up to, and it got them into thinking about why do you look up to these people and what does that mean for you in terms of where you want to go with your life.
Lana Albertson, Escondido.
I love using equipment. It makes me feel like a scientist. So I try to provide them with as many opportunities to be a scientist as I can. We use words like field study. We use the proper language for science and the vocabulary. And then I provide structure, strategies, lessons where they discover the answers.
Shannon Chamberlain, Sweetwater.
Well, you know, coding is interesting because there's so many different aspects to it. So when my students code, you know, they're coding on the left and on the right is what they're doing, and they can, if they make a mistake, they can immediately see it. When they do something amazing, they can, it's, you know, instant gratification, which our students nowadays, that's what they're used to. And traditional education doesn't provide that instant gratification. So I think that's one reason why it really works well for students who don't normally fit into education.
The 8th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Christopher Burrows.
Christopher Burrows teaches 7th grade English language arts and broadcasting at Potter Junior High in Fallbrook. He encourages his students to broaden their worldview through reading and discussing global topics and appreciating their relevance.
I think that being a competent reader is the foundation of any other form of education. I think that if you can read well, if you can comprehend, then you can pretty much teach yourself everything else that's out there to be learned. I also wanted them to be able to kind of think critically on big world issues, so that they're not afraid to read news information, that they're not afraid to confront issues, and that they can speak to confidently and debate their friends in a way that's not arguing, that is a kind of friendly discussion that voices their opinions in the way that is appropriate. Mr. Burrows cares a lot about kids, and when it comes down to it, we're English teachers, but our purpose is definitely to raise up good kids, good citizens, people who care about their future and what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish, and I think he really tries to instill that in them, that his purpose is very much beyond his classroom. It's just the day-to-day interactions of working with these young minds and being a part of shaping who they're going to become in the future, and knowing that if I'm doing it right, then I can help mold them into people who are worthy of big things, who are capable of achieving great things.
Mr. Burrows, thank you for everything, and you made me think about things that I wasn't able to think about before, and you helped me.
Thank you very much, everybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Karen, and the two lovely children, Emily and Caitlin. Thank you for all your support. I'd also like to thank my colleagues and the staff at Potter Junior High School in Fallbrook. You guys are fantastic, especially Miss Fran Little. Thank you very much for all of your help throughout this year. And to every teacher in the room tonight. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Stay tuned. The last 2 Teacher of the Year finalists will be revealed when we come back.
What makes a risk worth it? If you're at CSU Global, it's knowing that the reward is well within reach. We've created a dynamic culture of student support to give you around-the-clock access to what you need, with services like 24/7 tutoring and online library access, and a university career center. The way we see it, education is less risky and more rewarding when you're already on campus.
Tonight's salute is made possible by the generosity of these sponsors.
I think we need to teach students tolerance because in the future there might be tough situations, and in order to maintain peace with each other and everyone in the world, we have to be tolerant.
I think it's more important now than ever for teachers to kind of foster this idea of unity and tolerance amongst this younger generation, because as they grow up, their ideas and their opinions and their feelings are what's going to influence society the most.
You really have to know how to deal with other people and how to say they're different, but I accept that. And that's something that really creates who we are as society, is diversity, and bringing that all together and making one giant salad, so to speak, with every single diversity, because a salad's much better than just a blended up mishmash of people.
Because everyone would respect each other and they would be proud and happy to be with each other. Everyone would be, in a way, we'd all be a team, kind of.
You need to learn to work with people, to appreciate each other's views and differences and say, hey, we have different views, but that's okay. Let's bring your viewpoint and my viewpoint together. We'll make something that's a hybrid of the two, and maybe it'll be even better.
It not only helps you to understand and feel what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes, which is important, but it also helps you with your own mind. You know, if it's hard for you to understand someone else, you're gonna struggle with yourself as well.
If you understand someone and understand what they've been through, understand how they see the world, you will more likely than not find similarities between you two. And with similarities, you have foundation to build upon and build rapport and harmony, communication. And as you know, those are the things that are needed in order to make the world a better place.
Welcome back, everybody. We have one more group of students ready to perform for you tonight.
They're ready, aren't they?
Yeah, they
are.
are.
Yes, and judging by, of course, what we have seen all night tonight, I have a feeling they're going to be pretty amazing.
Yep. Here are the Carlsbad High School award-winning show choir, the Sound Express.
Woo! Take it away, guys. Sorry,
Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world is turning inside out. Yeah, I'm floating around in ecstasy, so don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car, passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, 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 there's no stopping me. Burning through the sky, yeah, 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light, I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now.
I'm having such a good time, I'm having a ball.
Don't stop me now.
If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Cause I'm having a good time. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Oh, burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you.
Cause I'm having a good time. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all. Don't wanna stop at all. Don't wanna stop at all.
Sound Express.
Woo, it's all right to stand. I see everybody wanting to stand.
That's great, guys. Thank you. Carlsbad High School.
Woo!
All right, are you ready to meet the last two finalists for San Diego County Teacher of the Year?
Yes.
Yeah.
And our next presenter is a Teacher of the Year who found herself a little bit outside of her comfort zone last year.
Brooke Crocker embraced the opportunity to expand her reach and own her time in the spotlight.
So when you look at this one, what did I say that made the two Roosevelts different? It was the same. This was the same. So if you say like foreign policy.
High school teacher Brooke Crocker knows how to bring U.S. history to life. Then suddenly, her role expanded.
Brooke Crocker! I made like the worst, most embarrassing shocked face I think ever. All my kids were sending me messages saying, your face is priceless.
She was shocked again to become a California Teacher of the Year finalist.
In many ways, I'm the kind of person who never wants the spotlight, and I don't really, give my opinion. I think I felt empowered by this process that, I am a good teacher, and my words and my opinions and my ideas do matter.
Among them, the issue of mentoring.
Because I think it's so important, not just teachers mentoring students, but students mentoring each other. They're amazing, and their words and their ability to guide and serve as models for younger students is extraordinary.
Looking back, Crocker says the Teacher of the Year experience changed her.
It's made me step forward into leadership roles that I perhaps would not have considered before.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome San Diego County and finalist for California Teacher of the Year, Brooke Crocker.
Good evening. What do teachers do? When a colleague of mine was asked this question, he replied with a simple answer that captured the complexity of teaching. His answer: we build Americans. He recognized, as does everyone in this room, that the role of a teacher isn't just that of transmitting information. The job of a teacher is to enlighten, to challenge, to inspire, and to help students understand the responsibilities of being citizens of their community, the nation, and the world. I am proud to be in the distinguished company of the teachers in this room, my fellow builders. Let's meet some of them now.
Debbie Dahlquist, Oceanside.
What they want them to know is that they are the change makers, that they have the ability, if they choose to put the effort in and do the investigating, that they truly can make a difference and can make a change. Whether it's changing something about their environment, or it's knowing to stand up for a person who can't advocate for themselves, or it's knowing that through their investigation they can prove a point to somebody who didn't agree with them. I think that's the strongest thing I can do for my students as I send them on into the world.
Ron Pete, Escondido.
Some kids it's their favorite class to be in, and then other kids it's their worst class to be in. And that's kind of, I think, my job as a teacher to make it applicable to all those kids, so they all find out that, yeah, they do need math, and it's going to help them in their later life. It's going to help them as they, whatever endeavor they go into.
Kathy Worley, Grossmont.
I think the skilled trades, that's an incredibly important part of our job outlook. I need a plumber at my house, and we need people that can build things, repair things, keep our cars running, work on the machinery that we all take for granted, and that's the skilled trades. And what we do is that we're teaching kids the basics at the high school level.
Jesse Kahn, Encinitas.
I feel like that is the magic in teaching. That's the authentic learning, because I can sit there and tell students all day long, you got to know this content knowledge, you got to know this content knowledge, but when they're able to learn that and come to that on their own, slowly, and possibly not the first time, maybe not even the second time, but the third time, but they did it, it means so much more to them.
The 9th finalist for the San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Kathy Worley.
Kathy Worley teaches industrial technology, drafting and design, and woodshop at West Hills High School in Santee. She requires quality work from all her students and knows the real-world lessons they learn in her class will be valuable, no matter where their future leads.
It is so important, but even if they do want to go to college, become an engineer, a designer, what we do, they still need to know how to use the materials and the tools. And hands-on is so important, but then also look at the way kids learn. Not everyone learns the same way, and being able to put your hands on it and to manipulate something is so important also for kids. So it's kind of touching all of the different ways that students learn.
She's passionate about giving them the opportunity to hands-on make something, create, enjoy, create, plan, execute. She wants them to have that same experience that she had growing up and that she has seen time and time again prove independence, self-reliance, innovation, creation.
And so when you put all of that together, instead of the cookie cutter where science is by itself and English is by itself, it's all used together. It's an integrated process. It's not one standalone thing after another, where they say, oh, this is why we learn how to graph on an XYZ axis. And it's just exciting where you can see it come together for them.
Before I took the class, I hadn't touched a power tool once in my life. So now I am safe and confident. I thank her again for everything she's done for me, and the lessons she's taught me and how they've helped me in college.
Wow, can a teacher be speechless? No. I want to thank my colleagues at West Hills High School and the Grossmont District. You started this process. I also want to thank my amazing family and especially my parents who were the best teachers ever. And last, I'd like to thank my high school woodshop teacher, Mr. Lim, who, when I said all through junior high and high school, no, I'm going to be a doctor, and he said when I was a junior in high school, no, you're going to be a woodshop teacher. And that just says teachers know best. Thank you.
Teachers know best.
And let's bring back shop class.
Woo! I love it.
I agree 100% with those folks. I mean, yeah, it makes everything else you learn in school make sense, right? When you're actually working with your hands and you got to go, what? How does it? Oh. And then your wife can have you fix things around the house.
Yeah, I was just going to say, every kid's going to be changing the oil. Totally upset with us for saying this.
Or taking apart Daddy's watch.
Yeah.
No, I never did that.
Or his car.
Yeah.
Well, remember at the beginning of the show that I said to you, well, some of the things that my kids ask me, like, why do we have to go to school?
I'm still young enough that my memory works sort of.
Sort of well.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember, yeah.
One of the other things that they ask also now and then is, why do we have to go to the dentist?
Oh, another common kid question, I would assume, except for kids who have been lucky enough to go to the super dentist, right? They say, instead of why do we have to go to the dentist, is when do we get to go to the dentist?
Please welcome the founder. You like to go to the dentist? My daughter just said she loves to go to the dentist. No? Oh my gosh, she's 6 years old and she's
just
killing
like
me.
you.
I know, little mini me. Please welcome the founder of the super dentist, Dr. Cami Haas.
Good evening. Education has always been one of the top guiding principles of the superdentist, and as such, we salute all the teachers that every day dedicate their talents and time to change lives one smile at a time. On behalf of everybody at the superdentist, I'm so honored to be here tonight to introduce the next group of nominees.
Brian Blue, San Isidro.
As a middle school teacher, my number one goal is to get that kid plugged in, to get him motivated, to get him believe in himself and believe in the future, that his voice has relevance. And once kids start believing into that, the academic part of it takes care of itself. And I want them to be contributors to life and have the belief that we need to leave more on the table of life than we take.
Vanessa Hart, San Diego.
There are elements to English that I think are really relatable to all students, like reading stories, because if we can read stories that connect to our students, then they automatically buy it. It's all about the human experience, and so we want students to read as much about the human experience so they have a better understanding of the world around them.
Melissa Cuevas, San Marcos.
They're just amazing little humans. They are very eager to learn. They're super excited about school. They're kind to one another. They really respect and look up to their teacher, and they're willing to try anything. They're into it.
Miguel Marin, Sweetwater.
We start off the year just being like, what is a scientist? What is the scientific method? And just getting them to start to think like a scientist, getting them to start to question, why does the world work how it works? Even though we only cover 3 topics of science, overall, I'm setting the foundation for what it means to learn science, what it means to be a scientist.
Stephanie Cruz, San Diego County Office of Education.
What I want people to know is that I have some of the most incredible students that I work with. They are so resilient, and they are so thoughtful, and they are so deep in their understanding, and they have so much to give, and that their experiences make them better, make them more passionate, and give them more potential.
The last finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Stephanie Cruz.
Stephanie Cruz teaches English Language Arts and Humanities to 7th through 12th graders at 37 ECB. She believes social justice begins in her classroom and strives to make her students believe that with her help, they can succeed.
Many of them are students on probation. I have students who are young parents. We have students who have been expelled from the districts, and we have students that were just not successful in the traditional schools, and so they've come to us. And when you don't believe in your future, when you don't believe in your ability to do something in your life, then you don't even try. And when students start to believe in themselves, there's this incredible transformation that happens, and they start to do things that just surprise them and surprise you.
Part of being an effective teacher in our system is beyond just strictly academics. It's addressing the whole child. She does a fantastic job of making education meaningful, and she challenges them to attain their goals. They oftentimes will question if they really can make it or not.
It's like a whole world has opened up, and by the time a student graduates, there's a confidence in themselves that they've built. There's a gratitude that comes from having felt like they've been believed in. There's a hope of the future, and it's really, really an amazing transformation.
Thank you for everything you've done for me. If it wasn't for you, I would have not been back at school. This is such an amazing opportunity you've given me, and I thank you for that.
This is truly overwhelming. Thank you to my students who inspire me every single day and challenge me. And thank you to the incredibly courageous and dedicated staff that I have the opportunity to work with at 37 ECB. You guys, I love you. And thank you to my family, my mom, I wouldn't be here without you, and my husband, Art, who is always standing behind me. Thank you.
Thank you, Southern California, for voting for the 2017 Cox Conserves hero, Bob Burns. Bob leads the restoration efforts for the California Native Plant Society, where he and his team of dedicated volunteers spend countless hours removing invasive plants that could potentially harm wildlife.
As long as we do a little bit each year at a time, we can actually make great changes in the environment.
Congratulations to Bob and our other two finalists for their contribution in preserving and protecting our environment.
Teachers in San Diego, Riverside, and Orange counties can prepare for the school year without emptying their pockets. Class Cash allows teachers to finance the cost of their classroom supplies for free. Get a $500 signature loan at 0% APR for 10 months. For details, visit sdccu.com.
Who will be named the new San Diego County Teachers of the Year? The winners will be announced next.
Hi, I'm Joey Travolta, producer of the new series Inclusion Short Films. Each episode, you're going to see a film produced and created by adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. From the pitch to the final product, you're going to see the whole process of how we make our films and what happens when someone is given an opportunity. 5 films, 5 studios. Inclusion, it's more than just a concept. Now playing on your view.
I think it's important to thank our teachers for all the work that they do behind the scenes as well. You know, they spend so much time working and grading papers. I don't know what they do.
I think we really need to thank them because this affects our future and this affects who we are and who we're going to be when we grow up.
They get paid, but they're volunteering their time to teach kids stuff that they know and to help them grow up to be good people.
When they teach us, and they teach us really good, we learn stuff and we learn about amazing stuff that we never heard before.
Because they're giving kids like their foundation of really who they are.
Like they teach us like what we need to know, but they also kind of make it fun. Because they make you learn more and more and more.
I think that it's very important to thank them because teachers, like, not only do they make it possible for you to realize your dreams, but they're the ones who take you there.
I think we need to thank teachers because when you think a teacher, it really
is you just thanking them for doing everything they do, for impacting society, for changing the next generation, for forming them. Because without them, we wouldn't have the next generation. We wouldn't have the people that are going to Mars or the people that are exploring the sea. We wouldn't have those people nowadays. So you really have to thank teachers because they're creating the future.
I think we should thank our teachers because without teachers, where would we be in life?
Welcome back. And thanks, everybody. I mean, we're having a great show. We're getting close to the end of our show. We're getting ready to announce the big announcement. But
That's right.
Thank you. I mean, this has been a lot of fun, right?
Great energy. Yes.
Great teachers, great entertainment, great fun moments.
And it's not just the end of the show, but the finale as well.
That's right. That's right.
And we're about to find out who will be named the San Diego County Teachers of the Year for 2018.
All right, so let's get to it. Suzanne Schlunt oversees the launch of new products and programming for Cox Communications.
Thanks to Cox's leadership and dedication to this show and the partnership with the County Office of Education, San Diego County has been recognizing its teachers like nowhere else in the country for 27 years.
Yep. So please welcome another newcomer to our stage, the new San Diego County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Paul Goffold, and Cox Communications Vice President of Field Marketing for the West, Suzanne Schlunt.
Well, Paul, what a great night this has been. As a parent of 2 daughters in local public schools, I have a 6th grader at Meadowbrook Middle School and a junior at Westview High in Poway. Yeah. I know firsthand how amazing our San Diego area teachers are.
This is my first year in San Diego, and I can see why this region is known for Salute to Teachers. Hearing the teachers' inspiring stories, how they're making an impact on students, doesn't get any better than this.
No, it doesn't. Tonight reminded me of my own teachers who taught me so much and were there for the highs and the lows in my life. Mr. O, my social studies teacher, created incredibly unique experience inside and outside of the classroom. He encouraged me to learn something new every single day. And Mr. M, my math teacher, instilled my love of algebra. Yes, I know no one but algebra teachers say they love algebra, but that's what great teachers do. They open their students' eyes to looking at things in a different way.
I couldn't have said it better, Suzanne. It's apparent by the wonderful things their students have said about them that our nominees tonight are all heroes to their students. Speaking of students, let's not forget about the fabulous student talent that entertained us throughout the night. Let's hear it one more time.
Thank you to our hosts, Kira Phillips and Dennis Morgino, who come back every year to be a part of this Salute to Teachers.
It's an honor for the San Diego County Office of Education to partner with Cox Communications, title sponsor, San Diego County Credit Union, and all of our sponsors on Salute to Teachers. Note, no other community has a partner like Cox. To put on a show like this for 27 years is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you, Paul. Cox is proud to shine the spotlight on our San Diego County teachers. And this night wouldn't happen without the great partnership we have with the County Office of Education. Before we make the big announcement, let's recognize all of our nominees one more time. Please stand up so we can give you one more round. Everyone stand up. Yeah. Great. All right, here we go. I feel like we should bring out all 100 of those drummers back, but that would take too long. So our first San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Camden Flores.
Our second San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Mark Landsberger.
Our third San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Jamie Brown.
And fourth San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Kathy Worley.
Our final San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Ben Swearingen.
Thank you so much. I'd like to dedicate this to all of our most vulnerable students, our foster students, our homeless students, our children growing up in poverty who go to bed at night hungry and scared because they don't know what the future brings. They are our most challenging students, but they are the students who need us the most. And we can't give up on them. We have to believe in them so that they know that they can believe in themselves. So thank you for this opportunity that you've provided me to be a voice for them and a voice for all the teachers who work tirelessly to help them believe in themselves and see their potential. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
The honor is incredible, very humbling, and I thank the county and Cox from the bottom of my heart. For me, I write software, and in 2015, we had fewer females getting a bachelor's degree in computer science than we had in 1983. That is not okay with me. So I'm a huge proponent for my female students. I try to make the class inviting to them because they are just as good at code as any boy is, without a doubt. Thank you for this opportunity, and I really appreciate it.
I'd like to thank all of my students who give me challenges every day and make getting up in the morning to go to work a joy instead of a drudgery. And again, I'd like to thank all of my colleagues who support me and support our students and my family. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all my students as well, and what an important time it is for all of us in the teaching profession. We need more teachers, we need new teachers, we need new blood to come and take our place, because now more than ever it's important that we empower students to know that their voices matter in the classroom, on paper, in their neighborhoods, in their cities, the nation, and the world. So thank you very much.
I lived for a short time in Senegal, West Africa, and one time I climbed into a cab, and the cab driver and I got to talking, as I like to do, and he said, when you go back to America, please remember us and help us in any way you can. And through my other friends in Africa, I also realized the privilege that I had had to have an American education, a top-class public education. And I truly believe that education is the only way to sustainably change the world for better. So thank you for all who work in education. Keep up the good fight. It's an honor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your brand new San Diego County Teachers of the Year.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next